Hello everyone. Today we're looking at the Second Life skeleton. It's a new skeleton that Second Life has put out, or Linden Lab has put out, and they've done this under the project name Bento. And what this project has done is it's added things like a tailbone here. You can see we have a tailbone. We have wing bones here. Okay, you look at the hands, we now have finger bones, which are really nice. And if we look at the face, we have a bunch of bones for the face that we can rotate and animate. And I'll talk about that in a minute here. I mean, there's a few extra bones in here. These are part of the wings to make them, to move them around. One of these is supposed to move them. I'll have to play with that later. There's a groin bone. Not quite sure why that was needed. But it's a major update to the skeleton. I think it makes a lot of people happy. Not to really toot my own horn, but I pretty much asked for almost exactly this. The only problem that I see, like one of the suggestions that I've made, is that we should have two bones on the ears here. Because, you know, if you have floppy ears, then you want to be able to have them flop over. So that was one suggestion. And I kind of don't like how far these lip bones are. Like, if I just raise these like this, the lip is raised, but, okay, this might look natural for most people in most situations, but sometimes this top lip will come up quite a bit. So it just seems like, to me, there should be one more bone in this lip here. Now, you know, when you're talking about facial bones, yeah, this could be endless, but just something I would like to see. Now, the problem with the facial bones is, in Second Life, they only want us to rotate bones like this. Now, the problem with rotating bones is you're not going to get... Facial expressions are so subtle. I mean, on one, people talk about how subtle they are, but on the other side of that are exaggerations. So I don't think that people really understand the full range of the face and what it, you know, how it moves and things like that. And anything that looks out of place is going to look bad. And people aren't going to know exactly why that is. But, I mean, it could be the smallest thing. And part of the problem with rotating is that you're also rotating the mesh surface. So this might not seem all that strange, but you know, if you look at the image, you're actually moving that skin at an angle that is somewhat unnatural. Okay, now let me just real quickly here, I'm going to try and do a smile of some sorts here. And I will lower that just a bit, maybe a little less. There we go. Copy that. So if you just look at the smile, this doesn't look too bad. Maybe I could move this out a bit. Now that's not too bad, I guess. When you smile, your nose is going to come up just a little bit. See that? And that's almost too subtle, though. It's almost not enough. But if you go, I mean, look at how this works here. Now I could do better weight painting on this, but I mean, is that really how the nose moves when you're, kind of crunching up your nose a little? That's not quite right. And even, okay, so we can move these cheeks up. But look at how this, again, this could be better weight painted too, because it's kind of pushing in parts here. But so I raised the cheek a little, okay, but I can move it over a little. And let's copy that to the other side. I mean, it's not, I don't know that it's, I just don't really feel like I have all that much control here. It's so subtle. It's not enough. So I can raise these eyebrows a little bit. Actually, let's go like this. Raise this one. And then raise this one just a little bit. So copy that and copy that. I mean, that's an okay smile, I guess. Like I said, this nose needs to be. But let's, I need to go through and adjust this. But I want to show you kind of what would happen if I could use bone translation for these facial bones. So I'm going to stop the recording here, adjust all the bones so that I can move them around like normal facial bones would move, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to do a quick smile or maybe a frown or anger or something like that when I get back. Okay, so real quick, be back in a minute. Now I've adjusted the bones, so let's reset this face here. Actually, select all the bones. Let's reset all those. So now we have the normal face. Now I can just grab these and move these around to kind of create a smile. Now, again, I have to point out that I did not do the weighting. Okay. Now, this is not to like bash the person who did do this weighting, but if I did these weights, they'd likely be quite a bit different. And like even some of the teeth have weighting on these lips, so they shouldn't really have that. The teeth should kind of show more and sit down. But the difference between, just grabbing and using that translation is a pretty big difference. I don't know if you can just tell by how I'm doing this. Let's copy this one and copy that, and then we'll kind of erase that. See, even this, if you see this one, look at how that's moving the lower part of that eye. That shouldn't really do that. So there. So this is a little bit of a, maybe kind of a surprise look. But just the way that all works, and let's say like this mouth edge, it probably does need to come back just a little bit. And copy that on the other side. But real easily, and like especially in the nose here, I'll show you. Okay, normally if I could only use rotation, look at this is all I can do with the nose with rotation. But by grabbing it, I can move that nose up and down or back, smush it a bit. For this one, I would probably move it up just a little bit. And like these nostrils can come up. Now notice the difference there though. That nostril, look at how this movement is when you're rotating it. Now look at it when you're, oops, wrong side. when you're actually translating. So I can move this back, I can move it forward. But that is going to be a lot better than just rotating it. Let's do that other side. But I hope I've shown kind of the difference between using rotation only and then using bone translation. But that was the real point that I wanted to make about this new skeleton. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty excited about what people are going to be able to make with this. But at the same time, we really need those bone translation movements for the face. I just don't think rotations are gonna be enough, because I mean, the whole question is, what is the quality of that look? Is that a natural look? And I just don't think you can get natural looks from just using rotation bones. And I hope I pointed that out. So anyways, that's a look at the new avatar and the new skeleton, actually. And I hope everybody grabs a copy. I'm going to have links below to get a copy of this skeleton. And everyone have a good one.
Are you going to save us, Mr. Cole? How can I save you? This already happened. I can't save you. Nobody can. I am simply trying to gather information to help the people in the present trace the path of the virus. Your attention.